Hi folks, we hope you'll enjoy the upcoming answers to this hot question. Who is your favorite comic book hero and why? Jim Gordon from DC Comics and by extension The Killing Joke written by Alan Moore. He is a police commissioner in a dangerous and corrupt city. He is a normal man, he doesn't have any superpowers or super anything. He just wants to do the best job he can to make his city safe and a decent place to live. His daughter is shot and he is kidnapped by the Joker. He is tortured by the Joker and sees pictures of his daughter in bloody agony, but he refuses to break or give in to his lowest instincts. He doesn't want revenge after all the pain Joker inflicted on him, Barbara, and the citizens of Gotham. Gordon still wants it done right. I want it done by the book, I want to show him that our way works. The man has an unquenchable will and is driven to seek justice and harmony, not revenge. Magneto. He's not a hero in the traditional sense. He's more of an anti-hero. What he represents is the complex, morally gray area in which the pursuit of freedom and equality operate. Magneto and Professor X essentially want the same thing: freedom and safety for mutant kind. The difference is in their approaches. Professor X seeks the path of nonviolent resistance. He believes that for humanity to accept mutants, mutants must prove they are not a threat. This means that they should turn the other cheek, but the consequence of that is that many mutants will suffer abuse during that course. Magneto has a different view. He is a Holocaust survivor, so the notion of allowing a government to systematically oppress a group of people and just hoping things will turn around on their own doesn't sit well with him. He has seen enough suffering and doesn't want any harm to come to his people because of the ignorance and prejudice of others. If mutants need to resort to violence to defend themselves and replace the existing government with one that will protect their kind, so be it. Silver Surfer, how has nobody said him yet? I like him because he always ignites my imagination about what it would be like to travel the universe as a cosmic being, like it was my backyard. He's also a great character. Have you ever watched the Silver Surfer animated from around '98? It only ran for one season, but it's pretty great. I think I did when one was a kid, but I should totally rewatch it now. Thanks for the idea. Nightwing. He's like Batman, but if Batman was actually enjoyable to be around. His superpower is the ability to always disconnect his shoulder. I thought his superpower was having a perfect butt. The Thing? He has a great mixture of legitimate self-deprecation and character depth. He's a loyal friend, hard worker and a champion of the people. I'll second this one. He's the Sam Gamgee of Marvel. He absolutely will not quit no matter what he's up against, and his loyalty to his chosen family is second to none. John Constantine, aka Hellblazer. Especially Matt Ryan's version. There's something so compelling about a hero whose powers are pretty good, but whose strength is in planning and bullpoopery. Plus snarky one-liners. Moon Knight, when he's written correctly, with thoughtfulness about his mental illness and what it means to him, and not just a ha-ha he's kooky story. The mental instability and multiple personalities can be gripping. See Jeff Lemire. Other than him, Daredevil. Definitely the most badass. Hulk gets hulky from radiation, but DD went ducking blind and still managed to become a badass. The one Marvel is promoting right now, and little to no prior knowledge is required. I know you're here, Dracula, you big effing nerd, where's my goddamn money? Spider-Man, because of his relatability. Hess thrust into his difficult story, and a teenager battles with morality all the time because of how much it affects his other life. He takes a job for a deplorable person who hates him because he has no other real choices. The kid is a genius and an inventor. He's basically always depicted as broke as hell as well. One of Peter's biggest challenges is that he has to be a normal person as well as Spider-Man, which is difficult enough in NYC, juggling work, family, relationships and his personal sense of morality. A fantastically flawed and well-presented character and role model. One thing to add, I guess? I do not like the current interpretation of Spider-Man at all. I have nothing against Tom Holland, he is a fantastic actor. His other movies are quite good. He was probably actually the best choice for the role in my opinion, but these are not good Spider-Man movies. Now in piled debate myself on certain topics about that point, but in general I'm not crazy for them. Doctor Strange has just so interesting and his powers are so cool. 10/10 would waste my money again. As a kid/teen I loved Spider-Man, and still do. Almost 40 now, and the idea of a middle-aged guy who suffered a tragic setback only to turn it around to become a magical superhero? That's becoming more and more appealing. Well crap, I'm sold. Captain Underpants, Got my son to read actual books, kinda sorta. My hero. Flipping the animation pages so fast until it ripped. That's just a description of my entire childhood. Flash. If you want to be Superman and your birth certificate doesn't say Krypton, you're screwed. Nobody wants their parents off just to make them twisted enough to become Batman, fortune or not. Green Lantern needs to be able to conquer fear. Wonder Woman? Wrong gender, not born on the island. Martian Manhunter, Hawkman? Wrong planet. Flash. Just be minding your own business working in your lab and bam, superpowers. Also I love how Flash is actually mad humble. There's that one Justice League, Think America, episode where he takes Batman and I think Green Lantern back to Central City. And while he's all showboaty with Batman and Lantern, he takes the time to sit with Acid Snot Guy and ask about his meds and why he's not taking them. Flash may be a show-off playboy, but he's still humble AF. Moon Knight. He's a brutal fighter with severe mental health issues, including dissociative identity disorder, aka multiple personality disorder. At one point he mentally became a whole Avengers team consisting of Captain America, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and himself. Occasionally you have to start questioning if something is actually happening, or if it's in his head, especially when he's talking to people. Even he can't tell the difference sometimes. I appreciate having a hero that represents those of us with some form of mental health problem. Showing that it's hard and no one outside of your own head truly understands what you're going through. What's your favorite Moon Knight story? Which issues should I look for at my ex? I'm very interested. Gambit, he just has a cool set of powers, love that he can charge any item and even other people. I really wish they would have put him in the X-Men series. Not just that 1-minute cameo either, but a full-fledged character. My fave character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Hawkeye, Clint Barton. In the comics he is very sassy and witty. He is really upstanding. He's also deaf in many series. As someone with hearing issues, it's always made me happy to see a superhero with some of the same issues. He even uses ASL in some series. It's just really cool representation. I wish he was deaf in the MCU. Florida Man. He's everything I wish I was. A beacon of hope. Brilliant artist, so I could make this an actual comic book. Wrap it up folks, we are done here. I'm always gonna have a place in my heart for Billy Batson, and for Vibe. Finally. I was waiting for somebody to mention Shazam. Billy is a/good kid/ and I love him. There's a great animated short with him and Superman fighting Black Adam that opens with Billy sharing the very last of his food with some rats that live in the same crumbling building, and that was when I knew he was my favorite. Saitama from One Punch Man. Strongest being in the universe. Most average intelligence. I love how his strength is balanced by his personality and aloofness. And the fact he's willing to take the hate from the public for cheating so their faith in the other heroes is maintained. This right here. My theory is that this aspect of his personality is what sets him apart from everyone else and has allowed him to surpass his limiter and become the most powerful being without realizing it. I think Dr. Manhattan had a great depth to him. Miserable and misunderstood by everyone, yet kind of always looking for a way to help. People relate to that. Plus he wasn't afraid to hang dong. Gotta respect that. Who would be afraid with a dong that big it'd hang a oneer if it glowed blue like that? Booster Gold. He's a lovable duck-up and secretly the greatest hero in the DC multiverse. I know this is brought up every time Booster is on a list like this, but F it, dude came from the future and would have known how Big Blue was killed, yet he was still one of the first to go up against Doomsday. Wisecracks and fame whoring aside, dude had guts. Captain America. He represents the best of us, though not without his faults and weaknesses. I was never particularly interested in Cap, but I have to say Chris Evans really did amazing with the role, and managed to make the most boring Avenger into the best. Of course it definitely helps that his movies were well written and Winter Soldier is still the top of the MCU. Hell yeah it is. No movie has come close to topping Winter Soldier. A brilliant factor in it is all the normal people just trying to do the right thing and stop the bad guys. It's not prevalent in most of the Marvel movies. Doesn't get enough credit, but Tintin. He's just a regular journalist with a trusty dog who uncovers massive finds and covers big stories while still maintaining his honor as a journalist first and an adventurer second. Also he does some crazy poop in his stories. Mans goes to the moon. It's wild. Captain Haddock and the Twin Detectives also make me laugh out loud. I also love Tintin series because of beautiful illustration of many places in the world. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.